What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, because it's getting around the time to be for the Halloween season, I figured why not do my entire horror film collection, the movies that I own on Blu-ray and 4K that are horror movies. Some of them they may not be considered horror that I have in my stacks, but you know, there were some moments that definitely scared me when I was a kid. Of some of them I watched growing up, then yeah, that's the reason why I would include them. So yeah, I'm excited. I have 4 piles of scary movies on Blu-ray and 4K. I have my first one sitting right in front of me, and the other 3 are down on the floor. So when I finish up with the first pile, um, I will check on your guys' comments and questions if you guys are in the chat watching this live. And then after I finish up with those, I will grab the second pile down below, and we will go through that. And again, I'll take your guys' comments and questions afterwards. So yeah, I have a lot of good ones I want to show you guys. Some bad ones, obviously, because you can't always have the good stuff in your collection. So, but anyways, guys, let's begin with this first pile. But just before I get started, I want to say, if you guys are new to this channel here today, hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it. Hit that thumbs up and also share this stream with your friends so that way we can get those view numbers up. And I've just passed 250 subscribers, so we are on the way to 300. Thank you to everybody that has stuck with the channel for as long as you have. For almost 2 years, I've been doing this stuff. So thank you all. So anyways, let's begin with the first pile of movies. First, we're going to start off with Daybreakers, which is one of, if not my favorite vampire movie. This is the 4K. This movie looks great on 4K. This is probably the Spirit Brothers' best movie so far. And I've not seen Predestination yet. Sorry. Next, we got a recent pickup right here, the remake of Pet Cemetery on 4K. I love this movie. I mean, I love the original as well, but I slightly prefer this one, just a little smidge over the original. I mean, I like the twist that they introduced into this one, and I feel like this version was done a little bit better than the original, in my opinion. But yeah, I love this movie right here. Okay, now this next one is why I said some of these may not be considered horror, but there are times where it used to scare me. Jurassic World. Yeah, there were moments in this film when I first saw this movie in theaters back in 2015 that really scared me. I'm not going to lie, so don't at me. But and since I did include this one, I decided to include the entire franchise, even though some of them might be silly or dumb. But again, dinosaurs eating people, that's, I mean, come on, man. If we lived in the same world filled with dinosaurs, we'd be freaked out too. Believe me. So, yeah. But I really enjoy Jurassic World. All right, we got The Purge, the very first movie. Kind of a wasted potential type of concept, but I mean, it's a decent enough movie. I mean, Ethan Hawke does a really good job in the movie. Don't Breathe 2. I do not know why I don't have the first one, but this is a decent sequel. I don't mind it that much. One of the more underrated films of last year, that's Spiral from the Book of Saw, or as I just like to call it, Spiral. I actually really enjoyed this movie. At first, I thought it was good, but upon rewatches, the film has actually grown on me the more and more I've watched it. But yeah, man, I really, really enjoyed this movie. We got Eden Log, Escape from Darkness, but it's just known as Eden Log. Bought this, never watched it. That is what I'm planning to watch this Halloween season. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. We got Underworld Rise of the Lycans. This is the prequel in the Underworld franchise. I don't remember much about this one, though. But I'm going to have to give it another watch. We got Straw Dogs, the remake. I really enjoyed this remake. I think it's a lot better than most people give it credit for. James Marsden's really good in it. Kate Bosworth is really good. And Alexander Skarsgård is fantastic in this movie. It's a really well-directed film. The third act of this film is awesome. Next, we got one of the best horror films of the year, that is X. I love this movie when I first watched it with my boy Fritzky. This movie is just a lot of fun. It's kind of just a throwback type of movie, or type of slasher movie, I should say. But it's kind of a more sexual type of slasher because, yeesh. Yeah, the first two, like the first and second act, definitely have those vibes in there. But I love this movie. This is actually one of the best horror films of the year. The Conjuring 3. I do not know why I don't have the first two. But this was a decent sequel. This one was nowhere near as good as the first two, but it's good. We got Prisoners of the Ghostland starring Nicolas Cage. Really wild movie. I really do enjoy this movie. This is one of the better Nicolas Cage movies. And we got It Chapter 2. 4K of A Clockwork Orange. I love A Clockwork Orange. I've taught you much, my little droogies. Ugh. Then we got Halloween Kills. I will, at the time of doing this stream, I am seeing Halloween Ends tonight. So, and I just watched this one, rewatched this one a couple days ago. I really still enjoy this movie. The extended cut alters one kill and has a better ending. So that's the reason why I would recommend watching the extended cut. Then we have Alien Covenant. Again, not technically horror, but you know. Then we have Freaky, really fun horror comedy. Definitely going to watch this one again soon. Maybe this weekend I might rewatch it. The Night House. Great movie. This is one of my favorite scary movies of last year. Directed by David Bruckner, who brought us the latest Hellraiser film, the remake. We got Willy's Wonderland, absolutely bonkers movie. I can't really say much else about this movie other than it just being bonkers insane. Then we got Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil. An enjoyable watch. I mean, it's definitely stupid, but it's a lot of fun. And since I included Alien Covenant, I also did include Prometheus. I actually really like Prometheus. I mean, it's kind of an underrated movie in my opinion, but yes, it has its problems, but I still find myself enjoying this film for what it is. We got The Lost based on the book by Jack Ketchum. I have not seen this yet. I've heard good things about it though. We got The Fly starring Jeff Goldblum. God, I love this movie. This is one of the best. Hold on a sec. Okay. So yeah. The Fly starring Jeff Goldblum. This movie is awesome. Then we have Underworld Evolution, the best Underworld movie. Sorry. And also, next we have the original Straw Dogs on Criterion Collection. This is my one of my favorite 70s movies, if not my favorite. I love Straw Dogs. Watched it for the first time last year. Loved it. Malignant. Shout out to my boy AJ Reacts 2 for sending me this. Yeah, this movie, so bonkers, dude, but I freaking love this movie. I even have a Malignant poster right next to me. You can't even see it. Resident Evil Apocalypse. Enjoyable sequel. Definitely better than the first. Black Christmas, the 2019 version, which I'm going to put my hand up on it. I actually do kind of enjoy this movie. It's not great, but it's not awful, honestly. It's nowhere near as bad as people make it out to be. Scream 5 on 4K. Love this movie. And then last one for the first pile is the original Jurassic Park. Yep, This movie used to scare me as a kid. Enough said. All right. I haven't seen any comments and questions, so I will grab the next pile in just a second. So hold on a minute, guys. All right, we are back. So now let's get to the next stack of movies right here. We have the Scream Trilogy right here. Hold on, I'm gonna back up here. The Scream Trilogy, which just has 1, 2, 3, and 2 bonus documentaries of Still Screaming and Scream: The Inside Story. Um, the first one of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely incredible film. Scream 2, not quite as good, but still really good movie. I do not care for Scream 3 at all. And I still need to buy Scream 4 on Blu-ray at some point. I'm on the lookout for that. Next, we got The Collector. Basically is kind of like the Saw movies in some ways, but I feel like this movie is kind of like its own type. It's a more unique version of Saw in some ways. But yeah, I really enjoy The Collector. All right. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, these actually have some horror elements with it because of like ghosts and everything. So that's the reason why I'm including the Ghostbusters movies. Um, I saw this in theaters with my parents last year, and this was an awesome film. This is definitely how you recapture the essence of a Ghostbusters movie. So, great film. Has a really good amount of fan service, just the right amount in some ways. Next, we got Batter Up. Child's Play. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite 80s horror films. Then we got Us from Jordan Peele. Cannot wait to pick up Nope. We got Buried. Now, this is more of a claustrophobic type of thriller movie, but I would be terrified being buried alive. So that's the reason why I have this movie in this video, because Ryan Reynolds is buried alive in this movie. So what else do you need? Then we got Spell. Now, again, this might not count as horror, but sometimes I do kind of count this as a horror movie. Vertigo. This is my favorite Hitchcock movie. I love this movie. Then we got The Terminator. Yeah, this one is more of a horror film than the other movies because they're a lot more action. This one is more is on horror stuff. So yeah, I really love The Terminator. The big one, baby, Halloween. Love it, dude. And then we got The First Underworld with Kate Beckinsale, directed by Len Wiseman. Yeah, this is a good movie too. And we got Saw 4, which, yeah, again, I'm very incomplete on the Saw franchise. Beep, beep, pretty. It on 4K. Freaking love this movie, dude. I love this movie so much. One of the best horror films of the last decade. Color Out of Space. I love that slipcover, though. Really, another kind of bonkers, balls to the walls Nicolas Cage movie. That was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We don't talk about that. And we got Saw on 4K, one of the best horror films of the 2000s. Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you. I would like to play a game. Love that movie. Then we got Candyman. I'm good. But yeah, love this movie. This is actually the version of Candyman that I prefer, to be honest. I mean, I saw this one in theaters, and this one really gave me more chills, and it's a much more fascinating character study in a lot of ways. Then we got Studio 666, which is a film I really enjoyed the first time I watched it. Second watch did not hold up as well, but it's still a decent horror comedy. Halloween 3, baby. Yeah, this one. This grew on me on a rewatch, man. I still don't think it's a great movie. And honestly, I wouldn't even go as far as saying that it's a good movie because it's really stupid in a lot of ways, but I don't know. I kind of just enjoy this movie as a guilty pleasure in a lot of ways. All right. Oh, speaking of, here's the original Candyman. I do really enjoy this movie, but again, I was kind of introduced to this one a little bit later in life. I mean, I know some of my friends that really had high nostalgia with this movie, but I still prefer the remake or this sequel. To be honest, we got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Pretty fun movie. I kind of do want to see the sequel that they were talking about. Halloween 2018, baby. Love this movie. Again, really excited to go check out Halloween Ends tonight. Then we got The Visit. The movie that basically was M. Night Shyamalan's return to form after films like The Last Airbender, The Happening, and After Earth. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. The comedy does get in the way of the film, like of the creepy vibe and tone of the film, but still a really good film. A really good, one of the better found footage films. Then we got, oh, speaking of found footage films, it's Chernobyl Diaries. I have no idea what this is. All I know is a found footage movie. Never watched it. Oh yeah, and I showed the Scream trilogy earlier, and I also had the first Scream on 4K as well. So, next we got Ghostbusters 2. Decent enough sequel. I don't hate it. It's not that great though. I'm not gonna lie. The Cabin in the Woods, baby. Love this movie. Definitely gonna be watching this again this Halloween season as well. Love that steelbook. And when I saw like what the steelbook looks like in person, like for people showing it on YouTube, I immediately I went ahead and bought the steelbook. And lastly, for this pile is Videodrome, my favorite David Cronenberg movie. And keep an eye out for that watch along coming out for the end of October. So yeah, I love this movie. So that is it for that pile, you guys. So I'm gonna set that I'm gonna set that pile down on the floor. I'll grab our next pile. So. All right, guys, we are back, and I see we got somebody in the chat. Eddie, my boy, fans is something. What is going on? He says, "Hey, Luke, rocking on with your stream. Have an irrational fear of all people. So films like X and The Visit." Oh, yep. I definitely see that. I definitely see that, my dude. But thank you as always for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. All right. Next pile, we start off with The Invisible Man. Really good film, honestly. I haven't watched this since 2020, but I do plan on giving this film another watch for this Halloween season. I love this movie. The Killing of a Sacred Deer, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. This movie is incredibly disturbing and depressing to me, so I probably will never watch this movie again. Great movie, though. Then we got Midsummer. Awesome movie. Not quite on the level of Hereditary, but great movie, though. We got Resident Evil Afterlife, the 3D Blu-ray, which I only found for like $5, so I went ahead and picked it up. All right, next up is the Final Destination 5-film collection. Oh, man, I love me some Final Destination. The first one, good. Second one, a little better. Third one, good. It's decent. Fourth one, bleh. Fifth one, my favorite of the franchise. I love the fifth one. Then we got the first Purge on 4K, which is pretty good, actually. I do enjoy this movie. The Lost World Jurassic Park. Yeah, there were some scenes in this movie that definitely kind of screwed me up as a kid. Not going to lie. And we got The Crow. This is more of like an action horror type of movie. It's more of an action movie. It has a horror vibe to it. But yeah, love this movie. One of my favorites of all time. An awesome soundtrack also. And we got Free from Hell from Rob Zombie. Love that steelbook. I hope he gets to release some of the other movies like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses on these types of steelbooks. Because I think Lionsgate still owns them. All right. Disturbia from DJ Caruso, showing he can actually direct a good movie. Basically Shia LaBeouf's version of Rear Window, but overall, enjoyable film. Then we got Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, directed by Jonathan Glazer. Great movie. Sorry, Ken, aka Mid-Level Media. I love that movie. Oh, here's Hereditary. Just bought this actually a few weeks ago. Yeah, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite horror films of all time. I might watch this again during the Halloween season. This is a great movie. Then we got Dr. Sleep Baby. Incredibly underrated film. Great sequel to The Shining, which I do not own on Blu-ray. I will buy it soon, but yeah, awesome sequel to The Shining. Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. Fun little movie. Christy, don't just look at it, eat it. I had to return some videotapes. I love American Psycho. This is one of my favorite films also. I want this on 4K as well, but for right now, I'm fine with the Blu-ray, and I'm definitely going to be watching this again this Halloween season. I freaking love American Psycho. It's so freaking quotable also. Did you know I'm utterly insane? Then we got Jigsaw. Good enough little soft flick. This is definitely one of my favorites of this series. Now I showed the Purge election year and first Purge. Guess what? I was missing my favorite. The Purge Anarchy. This is my favorite Purge movie. I love this film. This is like a Punisher style type of Purge movie, which I really loved about it. Awesome movie. Next is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This may not be considered a horror film, but this is the first MCU horror film. And yeah, I love this movie. I mean, this is why the back is better right here. Miss Scarlet Witch, who stole the entire film. And here's the inside of the steelbook. As you can see, I got my movie ticket. I saw this opening day. Yeah, and it was also the day that my new theater opened. This was the very first film I ever saw in that new theater. So, yeah, I love Multiverse of Madness. We got 12 Monkeys, directed by Terry Gilliam. Cool movie. And we got Phantasm, the 5-film collection. I love the first one. Second one is good, but a little bit too weird for my taste. 3, my favorite sequel out of all of them. 4 is okay, and I freaking hate the 5th one. The 5th one is one of my least favorite films of all time. All right. Last Night in Soho, my favorite film of last year, and the very first film from Edgar Wright that actually is delving actually into the scary genre, not just being a horror comedy. I love this film. We got Get Out on 4K. Love this movie so much. A little bit better than Nope, but still, I mean, I love all 3 of Jordan Peele's movies. Here's another movie with Thomas and Mackenzie in it that's old, from M. Night Shyamalan. A lot of people hated this movie. I don't really understand why, to be honest. I really get a kick out of this one. Then we got Rob Zombie's 31. Also, the blue. This is another Steelbook, Lionsgate Steelbook. This is the Target exclusive this time. Not a Best Buy exclusive, but yeah. Enjoyable film. It's not quite all that great, but it is enjoyable. Then we got Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton. Then we got The Exorcism of Emily Rose, directed by Scott Derrickson, one of his earlier films, before he did Sinister, The Black Phone, and Doctor Strange. This is a really good film. Check this out if you haven't already. We got Primal, another Nicolas Cage flick. Ghostbusters, one of my favorites of all time, bro. I freaking love this movie. And what is this? Sweeney Todd. One of my favorite musical films of all time. I freaking love this movie. Tim Burton directed this movie, of course. Yeah, I can't get enough of Sweeney Todd. At last, my arm is complete. And next one is another recent pickup. That is Beast, starring Idris Elba. This is another one of those movies I did for the horror movie recommendations for the Halloween season. It may not technically just be for the Halloween season, but this is one of those films that is so intense in so many ways that I really can't stop thinking about it, bro. It is such a great film. So check this movie out. It is on Peacock now, but if you guys don't have Peacock, get the Blu-ray. All right. So that is it for the third stack. So we have one last stack left to go. So let's hit the chat first before we do that. Eddie asks, are you hyped for Anne? Seeing it tomorrow. Trying to avoid spoilers. Hard to these days. I'm excited for it. I'm seeing it tonight. We shall see. Boy, Steven's in here. What's up, Steven? Suburbia, great flick. Yep. Really good movie. Love Hereditary as well. I have it on 4K. I'd watch it again in October, but there are just so many films for this month, so I have to watch instead. Yeah, understandable. Since I am doing oh yeah, gotcha. Okay. I love Phantasm 3. It's my favorite Phantasm sequel. I like Part 2, but I find it overrated. The first one is the best. Part 4 is underrated, and I don't hate Ravager despite even if it's very poorly produced. Yeah, I get that, but I freaking hate the 5th one. Like, even if you're just a casual fan of the Phantasm movies, it's just offensive in so many ways. Yep, love me some Sweeney Todd. Doing a watch along of that soon. One of Burton's best. Sign me up, bro. Sign me up. Love me some Sweeney Todd. So, anyways, guys, we got one last stack left to go. So, I will be right back. All right. Last stack, guys. Are you guys ready? I know I am. So let's begin. We got Mother from Darren Aronofsky. Very confusing film and very controversial movie, but really good one. Gremlins. Love me some Gremlins. And then we got Synchronic from the guys that directed The Endless, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Great movie. He would never hurt to fly. Psycho. I love Psycho. Then we got Friday the 13th Part 2, the Steelbook right here. It's a matte finish kind of Steelbook. You're doomed. You're all doomed. Yeah, and inside you got Jason right there with his the sack over his head. Then we got Vacancy. Decent movie. I watched it for the first time last month. It was okay. We got Escape Room 2. I do not know why I don't have the first one, but this is still a good sequel. We got Rings, which I don't hate like everybody else does, to be honest with you. It's good. Then we got Quarantine, the American remake of Wreck. Have not watched it. This may not be considered a horror film, but it feels like it has some horror elements that would be in a horror movie. So, Shallow Grave on the Criterion Collection, the very first Danny Boyle film, and one of Ewan McGregor's very first performances, if not his first. Swallow This. Evil Dead 2 on 4K. I absolutely love this movie. I freaking love this movie, dude. I will be I did watch this also for the Halloween season. I just freaking love Evil Dead 2. Then we got A Quiet Place Part 2, one of the best horror films of last year. It was one of the best. Yeah, Last Night in Soho was my favorite. Train to Busan and Peninsula in a double pack right here. First one, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Second one, I could take or leave. All right. Yeah, this is the last one of this franchise that I didn't show yet. Jurassic World Dominion. I have the Steelbook here, which I don't mind the Steelbook. I hate the back. I hate the back of this, but I like the front. I do like the inside of the Steelbook. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. I mean, I do really enjoy this movie, but the extended cut just added the prologue and scenes of the film that did not mean anything. So, Colin Trevorrow, you are full of it. I'm sorry. Extended cut did not add anything. Just the prologue. Shutter Island, a film that I absolutely adore. This is one of Martin Scorsese's best movies, and this is one of my favorites of his, for sure. And we got The First Quiet Place. I absolutely love this movie. I do prefer the second one, though. Then we got 1408, which I just watched for the first time a couple months ago. Very underrated movie. The Forever Purge on 4K. Yeah, this is the last one. Hopefully this is the last Purge movie. It's not bad, but still. The Hunt. Awesome movie. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And we got the original The Evil Dead. Definitely will be watching this one again for the Halloween season as well. And we got Men from A24. Great film. Don't understand the hate for this one. And we got Steven. Here you are, buddy. Alligator on 4K. Now, I have my problems with this movie, but it's still an enjoyable 1980 silly, dumb, over-the-top horror film. Then we got The Lords of Salem from Rob Zombie. I love that little lenticular slip, though. There's not much to it, but I like the way it looks. This is Rob Zombie's best directed film. There's a good creepy aspect to it, but I don't know. Really falls apart with the in the third act with its logic, but it's a decent movie. And we got Dark Shadows again with a lenticular slip. I'm a sucker for lenticulars, so yeah. I don't remember watching this movie. And we got Antlers. I don't know. I did not like this movie when I first watched it. Maybe I'll give it another shot for this Halloween season. We'll see. Land of the Dead from Georgio Romero. Rest in peace. Awesome horror film. One of the best zombie movies. Assassination Nation. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Did not like this on my first watch, but on a rewatch, it started to grow on me. I mean, I liked it a little bit more on a rewatch. So, yeah. One of those few times for a movie that I originally did not care for did decide to grow on me. It's very rare these days. So, yeah. Pretty good movie. 2 more to go. We got The Faculty, one of my favorite 90s horror films. I'm actually planning on watching this in a little bit after we finish up here, but we'll see. Yeah, love this movie. You kindly take your seats, so I'll be over in a bit. And last, but certainly not least, and I saved the best for last here. This is not the best horror. Yeah? Be down in a minute. All right, hold on a sec, guys. Okay, sorry for the little wait, guys, but yeah, last horror film in my collection here. I saved the best for last. You guys know it. This is definitely my top 3 horror films of all time. The Black Phone, baby. I've seen this movie about 4 times now. I love this film so much. And I cannot wait to watch it again this Halloween season. I think I'll be watching it in the next couple days. So, that's it, guys. That is every single horror film I own on Blu-ray and 4K. Let's hit the chat here really quick before I head out. I do too. Thank you for coming out, Eddie. On live. Yep. Post a short for that when I get back. Yes, I love Evil Dead too, but again, have to watch other films. Yeah, understood. It's good. Yep. I love that wedding crash scene in Alligator. If that's what you're referring to. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Land of the Dead's pretty good. I actually really enjoy that movie. Hey, Emmett, thanks for popping in. Do you have the Saw films? I have 1, 4, Jigsaw, and Spiral. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so yeah, sometime this weekend or next week, look forward to the watch along of Hellraiser, my favorite horror movie. I'm really looking forward to it. One last comment here. Also surprised by the Black Phone. That was my most anticipated horror film of the year, and yeah, I was not disappointed. And it somehow became one of my top 3 favorite horror films. It's so good. Okay. One last comment. I like the second one, but the first one, the second one's good. I just don't love it as much as the first one. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I will also have a watch along for a Videodrome here for the Halloween season. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below, that notification bell. Hit that thumbs up. And yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Peace.